If you have string lights such as these Christmas lights, you should check them before each use. First, I'm untangling lights that weren't put away properly the last time they were used. Then I'll check for light bulbs that aren't lit. I'll try to replace those bulbs so that the entire string of lights is working. There are often two shapes of sockets. Most of the sockets have 2 wires going into the bottom, but some have 3 wires going into the bottom. These are usually larger in order to accommodate the 3rd wire. These larger sockets are on each end, and there are generally 2 side by side in the middle of the strand of lights. It seems the bulbs are often a different size also. I think it's best to use the same size bulb as was originally in the socket. The wrong bulb can be too tight to insert or too loose and could potentially fall out, which is a fire hazard. If you don't have any new unused spare bulbs, consider reusing bulbs from other strands that don't work anymore. You might need to use something slender to pry the old light bulb off so it can be replaced, or move it to a new strand. Pull the bulb out by the base. Don't pull on the bulb itself or it can break. If I get the entire string of lights working and I don't see any damage, I figure it's safe to use. I should wrap and store them neatly when I'm finished using them. If a large section of the lights still don't work after replacing the bulbs, a wire may be damaged or a connection may be loose. It's best to stop using the string of lights when this happens because it may be a fire hazard. But there are things that you can do to conserve the resources from the lights rather than just throwing them away. An easy way to save some of it is to snip off the lights, sockets and all, to save for changing light bulbs in the future. Keeping the bulb in the socket makes it easy to see which bulbs are for sockets with 2 wires and which are for sockets with 3 wires. Keeping the bulb in the socket also protects the delicate wires on the outside of the light's base. Then you can store them with your string lights and in an upcycled container like this one that lunch meat came in. You can even save burned out bulbs for craft projects. To remove the glass part of the bulb from its base, straighten the copper wires that stick out the bottom of the plastic base and slip the bulb out. This provides decoration with wires that can be used to attach it to something. I set aside some of the long pieces of wire to use as garden ties. The wire is made up of a plastic case enclosing a bundle of thin copper wires. So when I'm finished using the wire in the garden, and for any other scraps of electrical cords, I can use a tool called a wire stripper to remove the plastic that encases the copper. Simply set your wire in a round slot so that the plastic will be cut but not the metal inside, then pull the wire out. I'm pulling the last piece of plastic off by hand. Save the copper for your own project or sell it to be recycled. I'm saving my wire in a repurposed chewing gum container. If you take the time to reduce, reuse, repurpose, free cycle, upcycle, recycle, and in some cases compost, you can significantly reduce your environmental impact. Check me out on Facebook.